The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. Moscow downplayed the West's move to send battle tanks to Ukraine and later launched a new barrage of attacks. Russia insists that the new armor would not stop Moscow from achieving its goals in Ukraine. This after the United States and Germany committed to sending tanks to support Ukraine forces. The Kremlin previously warned that tank deliveries would be a dangerous escalation of the conflict in Ukraine, with President Vladimir Putin vowing retaliation. Russia later launched a new wave of missiles and self-exploding drones across Ukraine. Most of the artillery targeted power plants and other key infrastructure. This led experts to believe that the attack was planned in advance and not necessarily linked to the announcement. The European Union wants to send more people away to curb irregular immigration. This comes on the back of the EU border agency Frontex reporting some 330,000 unauthorized arrivals in 2022, the highest since 2016. EU Home Affairs Ylva Johansson said the uptick was seen from countries where they may not be in need of international protection. EU officials will meet next month to tackle measures including controversial border fences and asylum centers.
We have seen a lot of Moroccans, Egyptians, Tunisians, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Turks, Cubans, Indians, and of course effective returns is really important here. So it was, and we also said that no member state can really be very effective in returns on their own. And of course, Commission cannot do it on our own because we need to work closer together.
Officials from Palestine say Israeli forces killed at least 9 Palestinians and wounded several others in a large-scale raid in the occupied West Bank. This was described as the deadliest single operation in the territory in 2 decades. The Israeli military also fatally shot a 22-year-old Palestinian later in a separate incident. The attack prompted Palestinian leaders to cut security ties with Israel. This move could potentially lead to more violence as Hamas, the Islamist militant group that controls Gaza, threatens revenge. Violent escalations in the West Bank have previously triggered retaliatory rocket fire from the Gaza Strip. We will be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Spanish authorities say the suspect in a machete attack on 2 churches in southern Spain is a 25-year-old Moroccan man who was due to be deported from the country. One clergyman was killed while another was seriously injured due to the attack. The casualty, Diego Valencia, was a sacristan at the Nuestra Señora de la Palma church. He was killed after the attacker chased him out of the church and attacked him in the busy square outside. Meanwhile, Antonio Rodriguez, the priest of the parish church of San Isidro, underwent operation due to serious knife wounds, but is now in stable condition. The attacker was taken back to his home overnight for detectives to conduct a search. He is expected to be transferred to Madrid to appear before a high court judge on terrorism charges. Climate change continues to threaten the $600 billion global brewing industry. With this, Carlsberg turns to science for drought-tolerant crops. More details on Bloomberg Quick Take.
Can we brew better beer in the era of climate change? Carlsberg Group thinks it can. The company has filed at least a dozen international barley patent applications and invested millions of dollars into research and unveiled an experimental recipe. What makes it distinctive is its variety of barley, which is engineered to thrive under high heat and water stress. In other words, it's a cool beer for a warm planet. For the $600 billion global brewing industry, such advances can't happen fast enough. Rising temperatures are pummeling it from all sides. Barley yields are falling, fresh water is lacking, and good quality hops, that's the flower that packs a bitter bite, those are at risk of being scorched by heat waves. Carlsberg makes about 14 billion liters of beer across its 140 brands each year. And it gets a lot of its barley from areas where droughts have become more frequent. While the Danish company's response to such pressures is atypical, it has yielded some breakthroughs, such as publishing the barley genome, which is twice the size of a human's, or developing a technique to rapidly identify genetic traits that make a crop tolerant to high heat or drought. They're notable, but there are limitations. Carlsberg admits that of the 15,000 barley lines produced annually, fewer than 5 make it to market. And there are questions about whether its research is simply low-tech plant breeding served up as cutting-edge genetics. Basically, old beer in new bottles. Research aside, the publicly traded company has a mandate to deliver profit to shareholders. To that end, the brewer says it will continue its search for a climate-proof beer.
Justin Bieber has sold the rights to all his early career music. That and more entertainment headlines on Showbiz Minute, courtesy of the Associated Press. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register an account now at signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Coming right up is Agenda at 8 a.m. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.